this was an interesting challenge with a lot of investigative work. So the idea is you had to keep looking at the output to work out how to change and configure the tools in the workflow. So if I just expand that, we see that we've got a pie chart over on the left-hand side, which is showing you how many players for each team have each nationality, or sorry, for each club. And then we've got our top goal contributors in a table, so our top 3 for each club. So first of all, just looking at the workflow, if we just have a look very briefly, then it looks like this one here is going to, this interactive chart tool says that we're going to build our pie there. This table says we're going to build our table there. So that helps us to understand the different parts of the workflow. But because we had to change something in literally every single tool, well, actually not every single tool, I think the append tool is fine on its own, but I want to make sure that you first of all start the input tool, which I didn't start with first of all, because if you look here, we've changed our code page number 11 to be Unicode UFT8. So before it was this one. If I just refresh that, then you see that names where it's like the U with an umlaut on the top, it doesn't come through properly. So did I have to just click through and keep trying to find which one would make it display properly? Yes, I did. But UFT8 is the right one there to get them coming through correctly. Okay, so I just made sure we ticked all for the autofield tool. It means that when we're summarizing, we're able to sum up our numbers, that sort of thing. So I've just got my club, my nationality, and my count distinct of names. So I know how many players have each nationality in each club. Then in the interactive chart tool, if we go there, this was empty to start off with, so we just had to add a layer. We changed the type to be a pie chart. We changed the values to be the count distinct name, and the nationality is our label there. And this didn't populate straight away. I had to close this, run the workflow for this to get to show up something. So don't worry if when you're configuring it, it doesn't show. And then you also want to make sure you turn on the batched charts option, so we're grouping by our club. So you can see how it's now got our club name at the top as well. And I know it said don't add any tools or take any tools away, but I did add in browse tools after any of my reporting tools just because I want to double check what it looks like. And as I scroll down, I see it has done it for every club. So that's good. Great. That's our pie chart done. Now let's think about our table that we had. So our table, if I just go back to that to remind you, is the top contributors to goals. So we want the name and nationality of those players for each club, the total goal contributions, which is just our goals added to our assists. Okay, so 17 is 9 plus 8, so on and so forth. Okay, so we're just going to do a transpose where we keep in our name, club, and nationality, and just use our goals and assists to transpose down. So that when we do the summarize tool, we're doing our name, club, nationality, summing up the value field to get our total goal contributions. So it looked like this before. So for each player there, we just want to sum together those values. Either that guy's a goalkeeper or he doesn't score many goals. Anyway, so then we sort the total goal contributions in descending order, so the largest first. So there we go. 48 is the highest one there. And then we want to take the first 3 using our sample tool for each club. So for each club, we just get 3 left over. Okay. But joining that back there so that we have our name, club, nationality, total goal contributions, goals, and assists, making sure that they're in the same order as the table in our output there. So when that comes out, it's no longer sorted by our total goal contribution, so just make sure that we do that again, so that when we put it into a table, it's going to list it in descending order. So we're grouping by our club here. We're making sure that we include all the headings apart from the club. I changed the table width to be automatic rather than a percentage. And I just made sure that for the name, for example, I adjusted the width so that we get the kind of text wrapping going on. And I did the same with the total goal contributions. So basically, rather than these names being all on one line, I just reduced the width of the field so that it went on 2 lines instead. Maybe I did that a bit drastically, I don't know. But I did the same with total goal contributions as well, so that went smaller too and went on 2 lines, that header. Okay, so now we need a heading for our table. Our top goal contributors, just changing the colouring to be blue there, made it bold, adjusted the size of the text with this font, pop out. And then we append that. So this is the tool that we didn't have to configure at all. And our vertical layout container tool. So for each individual record, we change the orientation to be vertical. We add a border around it, which is quite thick in black there. And then we just want to make sure that our text is above our table there. So then that gives us this lovely table. Okay, so now it's time to bring them both together, our pie chart and our table. So we join them under the club name, use another layout container so that we have, for each individual record, we're doing a horizontal layout container, changing our width to be automatic as well, adding in that border and a little bit of padding as well. And then when we look at how that turns out, then it looks pretty good, pretty similar to the output up here. So that's good. And we just needed to make sure that our output was pointing to a particular location. So a particular file path rather than not pointing to anywhere, making sure it's a YXDB as well. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that challenge. I thought it was quite fun to have the tools that you need there, but you still had to think about how to configure it. So kind of getting your head in the mindset of like someone else's way of solving it. How did they do it with those tools in that order? It's an interesting challenge. So thanks for watching.